is a special month to me because I get to do two major celebrations. In April is when I was born, so I have a birthday in April, and so far I'm celebrating 3.5 decades, thanks to God. Also in April is when I got married. That's my wedding anniversary. It comes up in April, and I get to do 1 year short of a decade. And so that's something I thank God for, okay? I don't take it for granted. These two celebrations have got a lot in common, but there's one difference about them. See, a birthday is a celebration of life, you know. Some adults made a decision to bring you into the world to suffer. You had nothing to do with that decision. You were an unwilling participant, and that's why you celebrate your birthday. And when it comes to wedding anniversary or marriage anniversary, you walked into it willingly, all right? You made invitations, you sent out for your friends and relatives. You might have bothered people to, you know, contribute for you so that they can come and witness your conscious decision to walk into suffering. And talking about suffering in marriage, mine started pretty early. It started actually on the wedding day. Let me tell you what happened on my wedding day. You see, before our wedding, I had seen a lot of movies of weddings, you know, white, English, beautiful weddings. And in these weddings, you'll see the bride walking down the aisle looking so pretty and feeling so pretty, being accompanied by parents and stuff like that. And so it is at the moment of, you know, taking vows, you will see a bride crying or shedding a tear of joy, and those weddings looked so perfect and beautiful. And I wanted to pull something similar to that on my wedding, all right? And so when the day reached, the wedding went on as planned. We were having the moment of our lives, you know, until the time when we were nearing the vows taking time. And so I told myself, unconsciously, I said, okay, now you need to shed a tear during the time when you'll be taking your vows, okay? And so I was ready and trying to, you know, be ready so that the time, nikifikiwa ile time wanasema sasa, bibi harusi, repeat after me. So that I would be ready at that time to, you know, tell my vows and shed a tear as well. Let's just say the ancestors decided to expose me. I tried shedding a tear. You see, my husband had already taken his vows, and so it was my turn. And when the pastor said, repeat after me these words, we were taking our vows in Swahili, I tried to be in a state of emotional vulnerability so that I could shed a tear, but that was not to happen. And so I tried so hard, no tear came, and so I started saying my vows, but then the look that I had on my face was in between a person who is about to tear up and a person who is sort of happy in a way, you know? That uncomfortable look. In fact, my wedding pictures, most of them are the ugliest pictures I've ever taken, because you do not understand what was going on at the moment. It feels like I was frowning. It actually looks like I was frowning, right? That's because I was trying to pull out something that I had seen in movies, and it ended up wrongly. All levels of wrong. Little did I know, the irony of it all now is that I didn't know that actually in marriage is when real tears were going to come, untriggered, all right? That there were a lot of stuff that was going to make me cry inside marriage. And you know, when we talk about crying, we cry during joyful moments, we cry during sad moments, we cry when we are overwhelmed, we cry with the babies when they are crying. Those first early years of marriage are tough, all right? And so if I knew that there was that amount of crying that was waiting for me in marriage, I wouldn't have tried to pull off that stupid crying thing I was trying to do. I didn't know, all right? You see, a cry is an expression of emotion, okay? It's a language that communicates something is not right somewhere, unless it's a cry for joy, okay? Which communicates excitement and happiness and stuff like that. But usually a sad cry is a communication that something is not going as expected, there's pain somewhere, something is overwhelming mentally. And so over the years of marriage, as the years go by, you realize that your cries don't have as bigger impact as they had initially. And that's okay, that's called growth. And so some of your cries will be taken lightly, some of them will be ignored completely, some of them will go unnoticed, okay? And so with time you also grow, and I've realized something that I wanted to share with you all. There is this story in the Bible. Allow me to be a bit of a preacher today. There is this story in the Bible of a woman who lost her baby. And every time I read this story, I wonder if this was even a real human being. Because the things she did after losing her baby are nothing that I can do myself, okay? This woman lost her baby, and instead of crying over the baby and doing, the normal human response to death, she gathered herself and took a donkey, with her, and she went up to where the prophet was. It was quite a distance. And when she reached where the prophet was, she came down her donkey. Actually, the prophet had sent his servant to go and receive that woman. And when the servant asked the lady, "Is everything all right?" You know what she responded? She said, "Everything is fine. All is well," if I'm not misquoting the Bible. This woman had just lost her baby. Clearly, all was not well in her background, okay? But when she was asked if all was okay, she said, "All is fine." And then when she met the prophet, that is now when she broke down in tears. And she cried her all. And you know what I'm learning from the story? You know what I've come to learn from this story is that sometimes we waste our tears to the wrong audience. Sometimes we get vulnerable to the wrong people who can't help you, people who have got nothing to do that will change your situation. And one of the things that I learned from this woman in the Bible is that she only broke down and teared up and really cried her heart out to the one person who could change her situation. And we know he did, all right? We know the boy was brought back to life. If you go and read your Bibles, you'll come across this story. And so what am I trying to communicate? That even in marriages, sometimes we as women, we break down to the wrong congregation, to the wrong audience. Even your spouse could be a wrong audience for your tears. Save them up. And if you have to cry to them, at least make sure you cry to the right person. And the only person who can make a difference for your situation, that which triggers your tears, is none other than Christ, okay? And so this is something that I'm learning as I progress in marriage and as I become older and of age. I'm learning to open up, to tear up, to be vulnerable to only the person who can change my situation. And I believe that same person can change your situation. So from today, all right? From today, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you have to let out your emotions, even through tears, go ahead and do it. Just watch that you are not doing it to the wrong people. Learn to cry to that one person who can change your situation. I've had a beautiful time narrating this story, and if you have a good time listening to it, go right ahead and subscribe, share with your friends, encourage them, Tell them that in this life there's a lot of tears that we are going to shed, but at least let them shed to the people or to the one person who can do something about their tears. All right? It's been a pleasure, and until we meet again, God bless you.